Good morning, friends. Welcome to social class. Already, we have a class that recently it was completed in the online class. Now, I'm going to be complete the third lesson in your class 10, that is production and employment. So you know that first I will revise what we learned in the first video class, that's in the online class. When the country is in the struggling positions, then the government of India, under the supervision of finance minister, will take a responsibility to solve the problems of India. Then they will take some steps. With the steps, the country is going towards the forwardness. It means it is going towards the development side. Similarly, here also, when the country in the when a family is have a problem, how the father is taking a responsibility. Similarly, the responsibility of a country, the financial matters was taken by the finance minister of our country. Similarly, for every state, we also have that finance ministers of the state also. So we learn that what are the sectors we have, that how many sectors we have, on how these sectors was influencing on the country. There are three sectors. One is called agricultural sector or primary sector. Second one is industrial sector or secondary sector. Then third one is service sector, or it is called as tertiary sector. So every person, for their livelihood, they are doing some different type of works. That work is comes under any one sector. For example, I'm doing teaching. The teaching is comes under the service sector. So we also learn that what are the people are comes under primary sector, secondary sector, and also the service sector. You also can imagine yourself, your parents comes under which sector. Next, we also know that by seeing the person's dressing, home living standards, the school going, hospitality, by seeing these all the things, we can say that how is the person is a rich or a poor. And I also explained that how to calculate the GDP. So GDP calculation has come to that the total value of all the final goods and services are called as GDP calculation time. So the time of calculation of GDP, we have to take that the total value of all the final goods and services. So I also give an example, that is making of idli. And if you the making of idli, if you taken before, there is two products that you can say that final goods and also called as secondary goods, means intermediate goods. Intermediate good means the good which is not completely prepared and the good which cannot be used directly. Example, paddy is a intermediate good, and the rice is also that intermediate good, and husk is also that intermediate good. Then the paddy or a rice or husk was converted to the idli. The idli is called as that final good. So similarly, at the time of calculation of GDP, we have to take the value of final goods. We cannot take the value of intermediate goods. So if you take the intermediate goods value, the amount is going to be count double. That's the one we learned in the previous classes. And also we have that why the people are transferring from one sector to other sector. So people, those who are involving in the production of agricultural sector, from agriculture to industrial sector, because of the development of industrial revolution, from industries to service sector. And I also explained that what are the some different type of services can found in the region of world. On today's topic, then I'm going to complete this lesson today. We have that next topic is called employment. So employment can divide it into two. One is called involuntary unemployment and voluntary unemployment. what is meant by involuntary and what is meant by voluntary unemployment? Involuntary unemployment means, so in the society, people they have a lot of interest for doing a job. So people they have an interest for doing a job, but there is no jobs in the country. No jobs in the country. So involuntary, it means people they are willing to work, they have any interest for doing any job because of poverty or anything, but there is no jobs in the region of economy or else in the region of a country. That is called as involuntary unemployment. Voluntary means so people they don't have any interest to doing a job. Take an example, because of richness and because they have a lot of property. So because of all the factors, they don't have any interest for doing any job. So in the economy, there is a lot of jobs for there, but the people is not having any interest for doing any job. That you can say that voluntary unemployment. So one more time, you should know that what is meant by involuntary and what is meant by voluntary unemployment. Involuntary unemployment means people they have a lot of interest for doing any job, but there is no jobs in the region of economy. Voluntary means people they don't have any interest for doing any job, but there is a lot of jobs can found in the region of economy. Take an example, foreign countries, they have a lot of jobs, but there is no sufficient people to work in the region of foreign countries. Take an example, in the region of India, people are having a lot of interest for doing a job, but there is no jobs in the region of India. So countries like developing countries and also called as underdeveloping countries, they don't have the jobs, but people they have an interest for doing a job. So countries, foreign countries, they have a lot of jobs, but people are not having any interest. That's one thing we're saying. The two types of employment, one is called as involuntary unemployment and voluntary unemployment is also the one thing we have to know that. Next one is in this one we should be know that GDP of a country is having the close relationship. Why the GDP is having a link up with the employment? Employment means working people in a country is called as employment. For example, you are doing some different job, so you are comes under the employee. For example, I'm working in a company, so I'm the person is called as employee. But a person is providing employment. The person, those who are providing an employment is called as employer. So here is the GDP is having that link up with the working people or else working population. If the country is having that more employees, the country is having that more GDP. So we know that what is meant by a GDP. GDP means the total value of all the final goods and services. Take an example, in one family, 4 are working. So it means they have that more income. In one family, 5 are there, but only 1 is working. It means there is no income of the country. Similarly, if a country is having that more employment, it means more working people, then the country is having that more GDP, then the country is equal to the developed country or is called as rich country. So it means the country is always depending upon the working people instead of the small children and also that old people. So the country is having that more youth, that country is always going for more development. But you see that India is struggling from the long days onwards. India is struggling from the long days onwards because we don't have that much employment. Because in our country, we have that more population. It means 121 crores according to the 2011 census. According to the 2011 census, we have that 121 crores of population. Out of 121 crores of population, 460 millions, it means approximately 46 crores of people are working, remaining they don't have the jobs. It means they are a small children, or they are the retired people, or else they are called as dependents. So because of that factor, India is also going for the underdeveloping country, otherwise called as going for developing country only. See that there was one table in your textbook. This is the table according to 2011 census. I will explain the table. I'm unable to write on the board because this board is not sufficient to write much. See that table, one check in your textbook. The distribution of workers in India according to the 2011 and also the 2012 census. We have that 5 columns. In the first column, it was showing that in sector. So what are the sector can found in the region of India? The first sector is agricultural sector. Second is industrial. Third one is service sector. So where they are? So is in agricultural sector people, they are staying in the region of rural and also urban. If you see the agricultural sector in the region of rural means village side. 67% of the village people, they are depending upon agricultural sector. But in city also, 9% of urban people, they are depending upon agriculture. In this one, male are 44% of the male means gents, they are working under agricultural sector, but female are 63%. It means maximum women, they are depending upon the agricultural sector instead of employment that is in the service sector and also called as industrial sector. It means the 49% of the people, they are under agricultural sector. The balance 51% of the people, there comes under either service sector or is called as industrial sector. See that industrial sector, 16% of the rural people, they are depending upon, they are working in industries. 31% of the urban people, they are working under industries. It means in cities, maximum people, they are doing that a job, or else they are working in industry, or else they are running the industry. So in this one, male, 26% of the male people, they are under industrial sector, and 20% of the women, they are under industrial sector. You see the difference between agriculture and industrial sector. 44% of male, 63% of female are in agricultural sector, but 26% of male and 20% of the female. It means less percentage of the women are under industrial sector. That shows that 24% of overall industrial growth in the industrial employment can found in the region of India. Service sector, 17% of the village people, they are doing some different jobs. 60%. 60% of the urban people, they are doing in some different jobs like a banking, insurance, hotels, some different type of jobs. Here also in the service sector, 30% of the male people, they are doing jobs, and but 17% only. That shows that 27% of the women, they are working under the service sector. It shows that there is a lot of difference between one sector to other sector. So we should be know that you should be know about this. If you observe that agricultural sector is a whole sector, and more people are depending upon agricultural sector in the region of India. And if we take an example, industrial sector and service sector, less employment is providing by the industrial sector and also the service sector. But nowadays, this service sector and industrial sector is developing because of the development of education, because of the development of governmental policies also. Because of these all the policies, government is also working on that. See that other factor, if you see that, what are the variation? So production, in the sense, production was increasing day by day in industries. There is a 9 times production was increased in the region of industrial sector, but employment was increased only that 4 times only. It means less people they are doing that more work. In the region of industrial sector, 9 times of production was increased, but only 4 times of employment was increased. That shows that the industrial owners are earning more amount and they are cheating the workers also. It means 9 times production, but only 4 times employment was given by the industrial sector. Next goes to the service sector. 14 times development was there in the region of service sector, but employment increased to the 5 times. It shows that production was increased. At the same time, production was increased, but employment was not increasing. This shows that the country of India is struggling not with the production, struggling with the employment. That shows that productivity. So productivity is not good in the region of employment in the region of India. See that 9 times of production increase in the region of industrial sector, but only 4 times of employment, and 14 times of production increase in the service sector, but employment only that 5 times. This is one of the bad position in the region of India. So we have one more small concept that we have to know that. Before of learning that, I give you one example. The name of the lady is called as Gayatri. We studied about this lady in class 9th, 8th, in every class. This Gayatri family has that 5 members. Try to understand this example. The Gayatri is having the 5 members in her family, and they have that a plot of land. Plot means a small land, either half acre or else called as 1 acre of land. So this total complete the family of Gayatri, they have to depend upon this 1 acre only. So even you imagine that this is in a farmland. If Gayatri is going to be work, or the 5 members are going to be work, they will produce only that 10 bags of paddy, or else called as 5 bags of paddy only. Even 100 members can work in a farmland, they cannot increase, even they all are working on 1 acre of farmland only. And also the land which they have that is rain-fed. It means it is depending upon the rainfall. If the rainfall comes, they'll go for cultivation. If there is no rainfall, they cannot go for cultivation. So this is called as one type of employment is called as disguised unemployment. So disguised unemployment, in the sense disguised unemployment meant even though if you are going to be use the complete potentiality, means complete strength, but even you cannot increase the production of the farmland. So Gayatri is working on land, along with the Gayatri and some other 4 members are working on the land, but all together is working on one land, but they cannot increase the production. It means the all 4 or 5 members, even though they are increasing the strength is called a potentiality, but the production cannot be increased. That says that in the region of Gayatri's family also, we have to know that what is the problem we can find. So that is called as disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment in the sense, a family of Gayatri, they have the 5 members in the family of Gayatri. All 5 members together, they are working in a one farmland, but they cannot increase the production. That is one of the factor that we have to know that. Next one is underemployment. Similarly, how we form the disguised unemployment in the region of villages, similarly in the region of cities, we have the underemployment. It means, for example, you are doing a job. With that job, you are going to be earn that 5,000 or 10,000 rupees. With that 5,000 rupees, you cannot survive in society. So 5,000 rupees of the amount that is not sufficient for your regular usages. Underemployment, it means even though you have an employment, but the amount which you are earning is not sufficient for your regular usages. That is called as underemployment. So underemployment is common in the region of urban sites. Disguised unemployment is common in the region of villages. So what will happen if they have the disguised unemployment and also called as underemployment? If the people, if they have that disguised arrest called as underemployment, take an example in the family of Gayatri, out of 5, so they don't have the sufficient income. So what they will do that? So they will shift to the other sectors. So out of 5 members, 2 members will depend on the farmland. Balance 3, they'll go to the other sectors, either in industrial sector, others called as service sector. Otherwise, they will converting into the agricultural labor. If you take an example in the region of cities, if they have an underemployment, they will work for extra time or else called overtime, extra duty. Because of that also they will be survive in the region of a country. You see that a lot of people were 1970s time, more people they are depending upon the agricultural sector, but nowadays more people they are depending upon the service sector, because agricultural sector they are earning that less amount, they are not surviving properly, and also that nowadays there is an uncertainty of rainfall and scarcity of water, and also the floods and also the droughts are the main reasons for people are shifting from the agricultural sector to other sector. See that next one, we have one more, organized sector and also called as unorganized sector. Organized and unorganized means what? So far we know that what is meant by GDP, how to calculate the GDP, and how this GDP is going to be affected, and we also know that types of employment and even the production of a country industry or a service sector is going to be increased. With a similar, there is no much development or improvement in the region of employment. And also that I gave that one of the example of Gayatri about the disguised unemployment and also the underemployment. Come to that, this one, organized and unorganized sector. Once see in your textbook, we have a 2 persons. One is called as Narasimha, one is called Rajeshwari. So they gave these 2 members example. By seeing this, we can understand what is organized, what is called as unorganized sector. So Narasimha is a government employee. He will go to the office at morning 9 o'clock exactly, and he will return at 5 o'clock. That's one point, the timings. Next one, he will go on his own bike. Even though if he was taken that leave, you will get that money, that you can say that paid leave. And Sundays also holidays, and all public holidays also will apply to the Narasimha. Along with that, some other benefits like provident fund, medical reimbursement, and a pension. These all the things can be found for the Narasimha. So one more time, organized sector. For organized sector, Narasimha is one of the example. Narasimha is one of the government employee. He will go to the office at morning 9. He will come back to the home at 5 o'clock. He is going on bike. Even though if he was taken a leave, that leave is called paid leave, and all Sundays holidays and public holidays also will apply. Come to that, he also get the pension and provident fund and medical benefits also. For every benefit the government is giving to the Narasimha. Take an example, Rajeshwari. She is the example of unorganized sector. She'll go to the work at 4 o'clock till 7 o'clock. She is going to be work. So there is no particular time. Sometimes she'll go at 5, sometimes she'll go at 8, sometimes she'll go at 9. So there is no proper timings like a Narasimha. And he has to travel only 5 kilometers. Near to his office only has his own house. But she has to travel that 10 to 20 kilometers also sometime. Because sometimes the work is not fixed. In one day, the work is in the region of Pragati Nagar. In other day, the work is in the region of Kukurpalli. In some other time, it goes to the other area also. So that's there is no proper time and proper place also for work. And she don't have the bike. She's going on a bus every day. And she will not get the work every day. For monthly, she will get a work for 12 to 15 days. Only she has a work. Balance days, she don't have that work. It means no work, no money. So take an example, Rajeshwari, she has a work only for 12 to 15 days. And that too, if there is no work, no money. For a day, she will get only that 150 rupees only. But she will get the money in the form of salary. For every month, ending of the month, that amount can be deposited in the account. So monthly once, the Narasimha is going to get the salary. That amount can be deposited in the form of account. But Rajeshwari, she don't have that much of facilities. She will get for a day 150 rupees for a day only. And that too not for a complete work, between only 12 to 15 days of work only. So there is no medical benefits, there is no provident fund, and even if any accident was occurred in the place of working place, and they will not get anything. But if she is going to be die, at the time government will give the 5,000, 10,000 like that, and she is going to be work under the control of one machine. Machine in Telugu is called as Mesri, construction workers. So they are working under one contractor. It is called as machine. So one more time, the difference is an organized sector and she is an unorganized sector. She has a particular time. She don't have the proper timings. And he has a bike. She don't have the bike. She's going on a bus. She has the paid leaves. On all Sundays and everything is come to that in his benefit because he's in unorganized sector. She don't have any benefits because she's not the employee of government sector, and she'll get that money for a daily or else weekly basis because she's working under the control of machine, and she'll get this salary for every month. Once for a month they will deposit into the account. And also that government will make some laws, Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act, some different type of acts. So all the acts are making some rules. All the rules can be useful for the people of organized sector, but there is no rules for the unorganized sector. So government is also working for the development of organized and unorganized. Take an example, recently we have the corona, and at the time of corona, a lot of people, simple term we are saying that valasa koolilu. You can say that migrated labor. So these are the people, they came from the different parts of India, and a lot of employment can found in the region of Hyderabad. A lot of days they work out, and due to the corona they are unable to travel to their area. So government finally they arranged that trains and buses to the people, those who require that, those who want to be transferred to their areas. So these are come to that unorganized sector only in some of the natural calamities time, and other time only they'll get the benefit. But the people of organized sector, they'll get the benefit every time. So organized and unorganized sector, for these members government will make the rules that with the acts of Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act, and Shops Establishment Act, and these are some different type of acts are there, and these all the acts are working for the development of these people. In the region of India, only 8% of the people there comes under organized sector, and 92% of the people there comes under the unorganized sector. We imagine that how many people there comes under unorganized sector out of 121 crores, or else we have that 460 millions of people, and out of 460 million people, lot of people they are working under unorganized sector, because organized sector is different. For example, if you are in the region of organized sector, you lost the job, so you'll get a job in the region of unorganized sector. But once if you lost the job in the region of unorganized sector, you cannot get job in the region of organized sector. So that's a different. See that, for example, Narasimha working in the region of organized sector, he lost the job. So this person will get job in the region of unorganized sector. But Rajeshwari lost the job in the region of unorganized sector, but she will not get job in the region of organized sector. So that's the difference between organized and also the unorganized sector. And also that people is always going from one area to other areas. Now I'm going to be explain how to create better employment to the people of organized and unorganized sector. See that 8% of people they are working under organized sector, they are providing that 50% of GDP. 92% of people working in the unorganized sector, they are also providing GDP 50%. It means 92% of the people of unorganized sector equal to the 8%. These 8% of people they are providing 50% of GDP share. 92% of people they are providing that 50% of share. That's the difference between organized and unorganized sector. How to create better employment to the people of these two sectors? We have to create better employment. Take an example, Gayatri. Gayatri has 1 acre or 2 acres of farmland. For that, 5 members are working. If the government is going to be provided bank loan for the development of wells, otherwise called as bore wells, then Gayatri can cultivate this 1 acre or 2 acres of farmland, not only for one crop, she will also try for the second crop also. Because now the problem is Gayatri is not having that proper rainfall, so insufficient of water. So the reason she is only cultivating that one crop only when the rainfall comes. So if the government is going to be provided the bore wells, for the construction of bore wells, if the government is given the loan, by using this loan they will dig the bore well, and by using that water they can go for one crop or two crops. So now they are unable to get the employment. Once if they have the water, they also will provide not only 2 members, other 2 members will get the employment in the region of Gayatri's family. So I think you understand that. So one more time. So Gayatri has that 1 or 2 acres of land. The land which they have that, so that land is depending upon the rainfall. If the rain comes, they can go for cultivation. If there is no rain, there is no cultivation. So at the time, if the government of India or a state government is going to provide the loan to the families like a Gayatri, they will get that water through the bore wells. Instead of cultivating one crop, they'll cultivate the 2 crops. So before they have employment only for 2, now they'll get extra employment for other 2 members also. It means with the 1 crop they are depending upon 5 members. Now they have a 2 crop because of the development of bore well. Now the totally 4 members are going to get the benefit. That's one of the points. So first one is providing the loan to the farmers. Not only for water, and also for the purpose of buying the seeds, fertilizers, and also the equipments, machinery equipments. For all the things they require money, if the government is going to provide these all the things like a seeds, fertilizer, and equipment, it is also benefit to the people of farmers in the region of India. And also, government is going to provide that some different type of irrigational projects. Irrigational projects means we have that dams. So the government of India is going to provide construction of dams. Through the dams, if they will supply the water also. The canal irrigation is also very good for the development of the farmers. Not only this construction of projects, and not only for providing the loans, and also storage houses, cold storage homes and godams. Then also they'll get the good employment in the region of farmers. And also, and you can say that in the region of villages we have that need of forest. There also they will start that milk chilling point. It means dairy farms, and also called as honey collection centers and small paper industries. And if the government is going to provide with all the facilities, automatically the people of India, they are going to get that more benefit, because 80% of the people in the region of India, they are under unorganized sector. That says that how much the bad position the India is having that. So creation of more employment, the region of rural sector was providing loans for seeds, fertilizer, equipment, and construction of bore wells, and construction of dams, and also the giving facilities for the storage homes and milk collection centers, and also the soap industries and honey collection centers. If these all the things, then they will provide that employment to the people of villages. And also for urbans also, they have to provide the loan for buying the auto, and also that in the cab, like in the form of car, and for running the shop also. If the government is going to provide that some loans to the public, they are going to be developed. So this is one of the concepts which I have to explain. So once I will revise one more time the complete unit what you learn from today and also the before in the live class. So we learned that what is the problem. If the problem is going to be faced by a country, what are the steps is taken by the finance ministers for controlling the GDP. The next one is we also learn types of sectors, and ask some questions also, who are the people belongs to the which sectors. And the next, how to calculate the GDP. Next, and how to know the growth of GDP also. Next, calculation of GDP. I give an example for rice, paddy, and also the making of idli. And I also explain that why the people are changing from one sector to other sector. Next, today I started that employment, types of employment, and also that how many people was there in the region of different sectors, and also what is the GDP they are providing, and how much production is increased and how much employment was increased. And I also covered that what is organized and unorganized sector with the two examples of Rajeshwari and Narasimha. And also we know that how to create better employment to the public by providing that loans, and also the cold storage homes, starting small scale industries. These are all the things. So thank you my dear children. We meet you in the next class.